Should I refinance my first investment house to buy a new investment house? All right, guys, so here's what we're basically talking about. Typically, we're dealing with rentals here. Let's say you go and you purchase this property, and you purchase this property for $150,000. Maybe you put some money down, whatever the case is. Let's say your loan, let's say maybe you bought it for $175 and your loan's for $150. Okay. Let's say a few years goes by, 3 years go by, and you've paid this down to like 140, let's call it 135, just for number's sake. But the value's gone up. So let's say the value's just shot up in the last 3 years, and now the property's worth $250,000. Okay. So the question here is, okay, I've got all this equity, the difference between what it's worth and what I owe on it. What if I took out some of that equity to go purchase another property? Okay. So this is how that would work. Typically the lender, if it's a non-owner occupied investment property, is going to go up to 75, maybe 80%. So 250 times, we'll just call it 75. It would be $187,000. Okay. So the difference between that, and this would be called a cash out refinance, $52,000. So the difference is this is a cash out refinance where you're actually putting money into your pocket. So not every lender is going to do this. Some lenders will, some lenders won't. You typically can't go get a line of credit off an investment property unless it's a first position. They typically don't offer lines of credit in second position from banks and credit unions like they would on a residential home that you live in, because it's a house and you don't live in it, it's non-owner occupied, it's considered higher risk, and so they typically won't do a line of credit. So then it's like, hey, can I do this cash out? Now, lots of times you'll find somebody that can. However, you have to realize a couple of things. Number one, if you do this, your interest rate is going to be higher. Anytime we're dealing with a cash out money into your pocket, the interest rate is going to be higher. So let's just say the average interest rate is 6%. The interest rate on this is going to be 7%. Let's say that the initial interest rate that you got here was 6%. So rates haven't changed at all. So you would actually have to be getting bumped up in the rate. So that's going to increase costs and everything else. The other thing most people don't realize is the amount of money it costs to do the refinance. You're typically talking origination fees. You're talking probably 3% to do that. So, and it's of the full new loan amount, which is 187. So 187 times 0.03. $5,610. Now that money is doing nothing for you. Okay, it's doing nothing for you. You're paying that to the lender. It's not improving the circumstances. So the question is, does it make sense to pull this cash out to then take this money to go buy another property? Most cases, I would say it does not. Okay, most cases does not. And the reason is because each time you do it, you're adding $5,000 more. So now you owe more, 193 or whatever that comes to. You owe more on it. The other thing that you're doing is you're restarting your amortization. So you were 3 years in, so you had 27 years left. If we come back over here and look at our amortization, calculator, you were 135. Is what you, well, let's just do it. Originally it was 150. The interest rate was 6%. And the term was 30. Okay, calculate that. Okay. So right now, July, let's 26, 27, 28, July. Oh, should I put 15,000? 150. Okay, so here we go. July. Okay, 143,000. So you've actually paid it down more. more than we thought. Now, what does this mean? Well, when you first start the loan, your payment's $89.99. Your principal plus taxes and insurance, your principal that you're paying down is $141, but your interest is $750. Now, as you get further to the end of the loan, the majority is going towards principal and a little tiny bit is going towards interest. This is called an amortization schedule. Most people just don't understand this. So what happens when you are a few years in, you've got a lot more money that's going towards the principal than is going towards the interest. If you refinance now, you start all the way back here where you have very little and you reset where you have a 30-year loan all over again. Now, yes, you can say I want a 10-year loan or a 20-year loan and that type of stuff, but I really recommend that you always get the 30-year loan, but you've got to be careful because you're restarting that amortization and delaying out the amount of time until you can actually have that house paid off. Why shouldn't you take the money out and to buy another rental property? Let's talk about all these things. Number one, the rate for a cash out is higher than a non-cash out rate. So you're going to be paying a higher interest rate right out of the gates. That's number one. Number two, you're going to be paying lender origination title fees that don't even go towards it, which could even be more than this amount, right? So that is just wasted money that only does not help you at all. Number three, your amortization schedule that you have been paying down, you're starting over again. And number four, where you've got 27 years left on the loan, now you've got 30 years left on the loan and you've just restarted the whole thing. So then the question is, when does it make sense to do a refinance? And when it makes sense to do a refinance is typically if the interest rate is 1 percentage point less than what your current rate is. So if the current rate is 6, if rates get down to 5%, then it's typically worth this because you can calculate how many years it will take for you to get that money back. And here's an easy way to do it. Okay, so the payments at 6%. At 6%, the payment is $899. Okay. $899. Now let's take this and put it at 5%. This is without taxes and insurance, so the payment is $805. So difference here of $94. So how many months will it take you if you had to spend $5,600 to actually pay that back? So 5,610 divided by 94 is going to give you 59 months. So it's going to take you 5 years of that savings for you to pay this money back. And now keep in mind, you can add it to the loan and increase your loan amount, which if it was a point less, you could probably do that. Now, in some cases, they will pay for some of the costs and do that type of stuff to reduce this. And in that case, it's a math equation to make a determination as to how long it will take to pay it off. But in most cases, I'm looking for a 1% less than what I'm currently at. And that's when I'm going to start looking at doing a refinance. But I'm really not going to look at doing a cash out refinance because that just keeps delaying and extending my payoff date. It increases my cost. It decreases my overall net worth because I've got a new loan amount at a higher amount. And then I've got a higher interest rate and I'm putting myself at a higher risk. So the question is going to be, well, if you want to buy other real estate, how do you go about doing that? And there's a couple of strategies for that, right? So let's talk about it. If you're getting any cash flow from your rental, you should be saving that for down payment on your next. Okay, that should be a given. Number two, you should live on less than you make. So you should keep 10%, maybe more, that you're saving that can go towards another down payment. Let's say that you make $70,000 a year, it's 3 years in, it's $7,500 that you've saved times 3. So what is that? 15, 22,000, something like that is what you've saved from doing this. And let's say you've saved another $5,000 from that. Okay, but let's say that's still not enough in order for you to buy another property. The next thing you can do is you can wholesale properties. You put a property under contract, you sell that contract to somebody else, and you collect a fee. So that's a way that you could do that to get some extra money so you could go buy that other rental property. Another thing that you could do is you could flip land. You could flip lots, basically is what it is. You buy it for discount, you sell it, you make some extra money, and then you could come here. And another way is you could do a fix and flip, where you purchase the property, fix it up, and resell it using a hard money loan. So you're not dealing with the same type of constraints we've talked about earlier. And then you could take that extra money to come. So then you could combine that with everything else you've got and go out and buy your next rental property. Okay. And then guess what? You do it again. So now you've got the cash flow from the first and the second property. You've got the extra 3 months or the extra 3 years where you've been saving some extra money. Then maybe you did a wholesale or land deal in between, and you can do the whole process all over again and waterfall this down. The other big risk that I see with people taking money from their investment properties is not all of the money that they use goes to the other property. So it's another thing concerned. They usually buy a nice car or a vacation or something else, which again, those are all great things, but we're lowering our net worth and we're not letting our investments have time, realizing that it's all about staying power. The longer you can keep those, the longer the duration, the more valuable they get, because what happens? Rents go up over time. Rents go up over time. They just do. And what else happens? Values go up. Oops, that's the median sales price. Values just keep going up. That's just all there is to it. So the longer you can get something, hold it, values go up, rents go up. And if the interest rate goes down during that time, because we're only doing 30-year fixed, you can refinance when it's a point less and have a lower payment. And if you're planning on keeping it for 30 years, you'll have that paid off in about 5 years.